ways to recording in progress. So one of my favorite ways to market within clinics, and I think one of the most successful ways that a clinic can market itself or a doctor can market itself is through non-digital ways, which is, I think, a little bit shocking for some people in 2025 as, of course, the rise of TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, and everything else digital comes into play. So I'm really, really excited for today's session.
Thank you, Nala. Can I ask any of the new faces, new members, potentially to introduce themselves to the group tonight?
Hello, good evening. I'm Dr. Kubra. I'm aesthetic and functional gynecologist working at King's College Hospital. Yeah, we met already with in a lot of meetings and conferences also. My face is not new, I know, but I'm new in the group. So I'm really excited to know something new from our marketing perspective, because as a woman health, we have some restrictions. And when it comes to aesthetics, we have literally lots of the restrictions that we are struggling a lot. So I'm waiting the new updates. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Dr. Kubra. Yes, it's nice to have you in the group, but of course we know each other from before. So you're a gynecologist, specialize in women's health and aesthetic functional medicine as well. Great, welcome. I think we have another functional medicine doctor from Romania, if I'm not mistaken, Dr. Miruna.
Hello, I'm from Romania. I'm actually an endocrinologist, early career endocrinologist, because I've just take my specialty exam in here. And my expertise is also in functional medicine, exactly in men and women's health. And I intend to relocate to Dubai, but I know that the law doesn't allow me as early as I want to.
Not yet, yes. You still need to get a little bit more experience and then we'll be ready to help you. So just keep patient. But in the meantime, you can learn how the system works here all the way from home.
Yes, even if functional medicine praxis has more than 4 years in.
Yes, that's right. So thank you, doctor. And then we'll have I think
خلاص أنا هشوف المحاضرة دي عشان
we have some
المحاضرة
time.
وبعدين
Sorry,
في النص هجيلك.
Dr. D. I'm
أوكي
not sure if
أوكي حبيبي يلا see you.
Please, if you can mute yourselves. Okay, thank you so much. Would anyone like to introduce themselves before we start?
Okay, I will go. I'm a little embarrassed because I'm not a doctor like all of you guys. I am based in Dubai and I'm a pain reprocessing therapist. So I work with people when they have chronic pain and they've kind of, reached the end of the line with the medical options, and it's become more of a psychosomatic issue. So yeah, but the reason I'm here is because I met Savina at an event the other week, and I get 100% of my clients on referrals from people I've worked with or from osteopaths or doctors referring people, which is great, but it's also not a very reliable. It's not. Do you know what I mean?
It's unpredictable.
It's unpredictable. That's exactly what I. Yeah, so because the field that I work in hasn't really arrived in Dubai yet, it's also very difficult when I see people on like Facebook saying, can anyone recommend a doctor? I'm not a doctor, so I can't put myself forward, yet I know I could probably help them. So I'm in this kind of like weird space. So I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And I will definitely comment on the fact that we met at an event and that you are here tonight, and it shows the power of events and networking. And actually, we have a member in this group who I also met at the same event, Gemma, which was Lucy's event, and her name is Mariam. I don't know if she's here tonight, and she's not a doctor either. She used to be a nurse, but she now specializes in helping patients with some fear of surgical and medical procedures with emotional support. So she's also working in this field, and I think you have some synergies. So never forget the power of events. And I would say that we have a lot of doctors here in the group tonight, and of course, doctors are different specialties totally than practitioners. But I think in Dubai, you know, when somebody on a group is asking, do you know a doctor who can help me with this? In my opinion, it could be a doctor and it could be a non-doctor. I think it's just a way of formulating a sentence. And I just look at it as alternative medicine. So I would not lose the opportunity for potential patients just because they use the word doctor and you're not. As long as you put your hand up and you say, hey, my name is Gemma, I'm not a doctor. This is what I do, but I think I can help you. So that's
Thank
the
you.
first tip of the evening.
That's very great advice.
Yeah, for sure. I think sometimes we sometimes by being humble we lose opportunities, and as long as we're transparent, it's fair. So welcome everybody. The rest of the participants are mixed doctors from aesthetic medicine, dermatology, dentistry, and we have also someone working in the medical industry with the suppliers and companies. So that's great. Very nice group. Thank you. And I believe we're ready to start, and hopefully we'll inspire you to focus on non-digital activities in 2025.
Yeah, so I mean, generally, when we discuss marketing, a lot of people think just digital. They think, you know, yeah, let's get the brand on Instagram, let's get the brand on Facebook. And while I do appreciate those topics, and I think that they're very important to marketing today and probably forever, there is still room in 2025 for non-digital marketing, which is what I'm going to be discussing today. So if I can just quickly share my screen.
We can see it.
Awesome. Okay. So as mentioned before, today we're going to be talking about finding new patients without the use of social media marketing. And the reason why I didn't say marketing without social media and instead I said finding new patients is because a lot of the time you'll see marketing managers in clinics talk about marketing and marketing efforts, but a lot of the time they're not actually translated very well into new business or new patients. So I want to kind of guide you through systems and ways to market your own brands as doctors or as practitioners or as clinics in ways that genuinely generate business for you and become ways that are worth investing into in the long run. Okay, so the agenda for today then is going to be, first we're going to talk about leveraging neighboring businesses, and I'll explain a little bit about how to foster relationships in a successful and business generating way for both parties, okay? Sometimes you will hear marketing managers refer to this as collabs or collaborations. The next one is going to be hosting events. Like Servan just mentioned now, events are one of the most powerful ways to market yourself, whether it is to host events or to attend events. Is two completely different, let's say, marketing facets, but we're going to be discussing hosting events today. Another day we can talk about networking and attending events. And then the last one is driving referrals. Okay. In other regions of the world, driving referrals is done really systematically. You find a lot of hospitals and clinics setting up a lot of really nice referral programs. For some reason in this region, it's not as popular, and I have a mission in 2025 to popularize it and to systemize it within clinics and for doctors. Because it's probably one of the most direct marketing tools for not just building a brand name or creating a really nice brand image. It's actually a way to drive direct business to your own brand. So the motto today is going to be, and for this whole year, it's dare to be different. Okay. A lot of the time when we talk about marketing, like I said, we talk about digital, and a lot of the people that me and Servan consult tend to be a little bit scared, okay, to talk to neighboring businesses or even to host events, to create referral programs. And the number one thing that we hear is, I've tried it before and it didn't work. Okay, I've tried doing events, no one came. I talked to the nearby coffee shop, he didn't care. I tried to set up a referral program, no one sent patients to me. Okay, so in today's discussion, I want to leave very practical advice and I want to lead with the objections. Okay, we want to talk, we want to be all cards on the table, talk about why it didn't work, what you could do differently, and what you probably did wrong. Okay, I'm being a little presumptuous here, of course, and I'm generalizing, but throughout the talk, please feel free to unmute yourself, pause and say, no, look, this is exactly what I did, and this is where I went wrong, and let's discuss it. Okay, so let's begin by talking about leveraging neighboring businesses or collabs. Okay, so anywhere that you're gonna work, on any street, on any road, anywhere you're gonna work, you're gonna have neighboring businesses. Okay, you're gonna have a shop downstairs that sells chips and Coke. You're gonna have another clinic nearby. You're gonna have a salon. You're gonna have all kinds of other people that are also trying to make it work and trying to get clients for themselves. Your mission is to get to know these people, and you can do it through so many different ways. Okay, you can do it. I think the easiest way to do it is to begin using these businesses around you. Okay, it's building and fostering successful relationships with people in general, at least in adulthood, is by seeing people over and over and over again. It's creating that consistency. So if I'm gonna buy a coffee every morning anyway, let me buy it from the same person. So I get to know that person. Every day we have a little awkward, hi, good morning, how are you? That sort of thing. And with time, things will start to come up. One day you spill your coffee and you have a conversation. The other day, and you kind of just start building a non-business related friendship, let's say, with these people. Okay, so that's the easiest way to start anything. Be consistent. Try to invest in the businesses around you. If you're going to be putting your money, for these things down anyway, put them in the same place and in places that are neighboring to you. Now, how do you build a business relationship with people that are in the neighboring businesses? There's so many different ways that you can do it. One of the ways is to offer their members exclusive vouchers. Okay, so this is a very popular technique that's used outside of the region. And again, I want to bring it to this region. So these are called appreciation programs. They're a type of marketing that touches a little bit on the emotions of people. Okay, there's ways to really personalize it and make it something beautiful that people remember you by. So what I like to tell our consulting clients here at Invictamed is try to make it as personal as possible. So let me give you a live example. Let's say I am a clinic, I'm located in Jumeirah, and next to me is a huge salon, let's say. And at the salon work maybe, let's say, 11 other women or men or whatever. Let's just, for the sake of the example, let's say 11 women work at the salon. What I'm going to do is I'm gonna go there and before I go there, I'm gonna prepare a little appreciation program. And that appreciation program is going to include something for free for them or a discount specifically for their girls. And what I want to do is I'm going to go to Desco and I'm going to print out 11 or let's say 15 vouchers that on the back of them, I'm going to handwrite something. So I'm going to handwrite, dear this whatever salon, and we love the work that you do. We see women leaving your salon every single day with a huge smile on their face. So we wanted to put a smile on yours. Here's to you from our, clinic family. Something to that effect, something meaningful, something personable. And the reason why I say handwritten is because a lot of the time handwritten notes tend to feel a little bit more, personal. You put a little bit of time into it. And it doesn't have to be this exact example. It doesn't have to be that you give vouchers out or, that you give any sort of discounts. Sometimes it's nice to just drop a gift or flowers to them. So this is the easiest way to build that relationship. And what happens once you give out these notes or once you do something meaningful for them, they'll remember you and they'll talk about you. And the way that business works in this region is through word of mouth. Like Gemma said earlier, it's all about referrals. Once people start talking to you and about your business to their customers or their clients or even to each other, what happens is your business name and brand begins to grow in the surrounding region. And you already know that since this salon is seeing customers, they're probably living around that area or are interested or willing to travel to that area to get a service done, which means that they're very potential customers for you.
Absolutely. I'm gonna interject and back you up here just to give again one more example. I know it can probably seem daunting. Put your hand up if you think, oh my God, I have to go to the salon and I have to talk to people and they will think I'm trying to sell them something. It's horrible. I get you. I did it. I've taken this example before, but we were organizing a big conference in September. And it was very difficult for us to get signups. Why? Because it was just after the summer, and people are slow, and our marketing was not getting like the usual response on social media because it was summer, like people don't sign up for a conference in August when they're on holiday. So it was a risk we took. So when we came back in September, we said, hey, we have to find a new way. And we really believe in social media, but we also believe in traditional methods, as we're talking tonight. So what did we do? We went up and down Jumeirah Beach Road, up and down Al Wasl Road with a car, Nala, myself, and our marketing assistant. And we took flyers and we added a little handwritten note to the flyer. It had the conference date. And then I handwrote and I said, hey, I'm Savannah. I'm the founder of this agency and I'm organizing this marketing conference. And I think it would be of amazing value to your marketing team and to your doctors. If you're interested to send a group of people to the conference, please WhatsApp me or call me directly. I have group rates for you. You will be extremely surprised, and so was I, the amount of clinics that WhatsApped me immediately or called me and say, we just got your flyer. Can you come back and meet us in the clinic? And I could have put 3,000 dirhams on Instagram to try and get an ad out that I wouldn't have had probably this response. And we got a lot of like really good names of clinics that I don't think we could have reached on social media or email. And they've become loyal customers of ours afterwards. So I really encourage you. It's a little bit like hard at first, like the first one that you walk into, like you just feel awkward and you will get some faces that mean like, okay, you're not very welcome here. But in other places, they're very happy to see you and they pass on the information. So do it.
Yeah, and I also, Servan, that's a really good one because a lot of the time when I tell people, you should try to reach out to that salon, they'll tell me something like, oh, I spoke to their reception and the girls weren't super friendly, or there's a way to do things, okay, which is why I led with start using their salon a little bit, try to walk in there from time to time, say good morning, say these types of things, start the relationship slow, and then do the grand finale.
Yeah.
And if people aren't too friendly to you, honestly, that's probably a business you don't want to partner up with anyway. In the chat, there was somebody had said, will they ask for a marketing fee if you want to do a collaboration? So this is another type of collaboration, which now I'm going to talk about, which is collaborating in a way that's even more direct, okay? It's not just through you guys, we appreciate you, thank you for doing what you do, mention us to a friend if you like. So that's the first type. The second type is a little bit more structured and systemized. To be honest, it's not my favorite type of collaboration. You can do it and test it. Look, there's no right or wrong in marketing. It's really trial and error. You just see what lands. But another type of collaboration is when you give vouchers both ways. So let's say, again, let's bring back the salon and the clinic example. So I am a clinic. I go to the salon. I say, guys, let's hold hands and let's collaborate. So I'm gonna give you a voucher that says if your customers use your service, then they have 20% off at my salon or at my clinic. And if our patients use our service, then we're going to give them this voucher that says you give them 20% off. Okay, so it's like a cross exchange of businesses. You can do it in physical, okay? You can print out vouchers and leave it at their store and they give it out to patients. The only thing that I would suggest, if in case you do decide to go this route, is you need to really make sure that the front desk of the other business is properly trained to sell your business in a way that represents you, okay? A lot of the time I find that sometimes people are misrepresented, it's not done very well, or these vouchers aren't given out at all. So that's why it's not 100% my favorite way to market. I think, Gemma, you have your hand up.
Yeah, it took me ages to work out where the button was. So I have a question. In Dubai, as you know, a lot of things are just done on insurance. So nobody cares how much they pay anybody because they get all the money back anyway. Whereas what I do is not at all covered under insurance. So it's hard for me to, like, osteopaths will refer just because they've reached the end of the line with somebody, but I can't really refer people back to them because there's nothing. Do you see what I mean? It's so I'm sort of the end of the line. I wouldn't send anybody back the other direction,
Yeah, so when I talk about neighboring businesses, I don't necessarily mean doctors. Okay, so that's more of a referral. It's not really
Oh,
so we'll
okay.
come back to referral. So I'll come back to that exact argument. The
Okay.
thing is, but just to quickly touch on it now, so a referral doesn't necessarily happen in a way that's like, if you refer to me, I'm gonna refer back to you. Because it doesn't necessarily, like imagine if I was a GP, a specialist is not going to refer back to a GP. It doesn't make sense. So referrals happen through relationships. You just become a good friend, a trusted person who's going to continue kind of representing the doctor that's referred to you in a way. When if I was a doctor and I referred you or I referred somebody to you, I would ideally want to trust you enough as a colleague to then carry on forward the good service. So that's really how doctor to doctor referral is going to wind up happening. So but I'll talk a little bit more about that just down the end of the presentation. So
I would
okay.
say yes, I would add something on this, Gemma, and I think it's valid for everyone. I think it's often a concern, again, because we tend to be shy of asking generally, which is normal, is a good trait, But I think, again, like the best specialists, which is it's the ones that you want to be in your referral network, they will not expect something back. But everybody loves a thank you. So I think you can focus more on the thank yous than just like referral back. So what thank you can you give? Saying thank you is very important. We forget the power of it, but also like sending a little gift or like inviting them out for dinner if you're comfortable enough with them, and your team or their team. So there's a lot of things that you can do that will make them feel appreciated. And I'm sure they'll hear back from your services from their patients. And if their patients are happy that they refer them to you, they will keep referring because that's adding value to them indirectly as well.
That's brilliant. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so the number one objection, like I said, I'm going to lead with objections, okay? But human to human connections are hard. How do I go about it? Okay. Doctors will tell me all the time, oh, where am I going to find the time, or, oh, it's, I feel silly just going from business to business, doing this, giving away cards. I just feel like I'm just selling myself. I studied too long to do this. I don't want to do it. And the thing is, you don't have to do it all in one day. A lot of the time they think, oh yeah, let me just print out all of these cards and go to all of these businesses in one day and let me attack marketing all at once. Marketing should never be urgent. Okay, you should never be urgently marketing because one, it will always flop. Okay, marketing has to be strategized, systemized, has to be done over time, and you will reap the benefits eventually if you take your time with it. So you want to do it day by day. You want to be in the best mood possible. This was actually a tip that Serban had given one of our consulting doctors. She said, look, you gotta make sure that on the day you do this, you gotta be in a good mood. You can't wake up on the wrong side of the bed and choose that, yep, this is the day that I'm gonna go to the salon and tell them about me and to send me patients. You just can't do it on days when you're moody, okay? And let's be real, everybody has moody days and everybody has bad days. So you have to choose
And
a
everybody
day.
has good days. So on your good day, do it.
True, exactly. You have to choose a day where the sun is shining, and you play your best song and you hype yourself up and you feel good and you go for it. And honestly, you'd be surprised at how nice people will be. It's really not that serious. It's not going to be as hard as you think it is. So my biggest advice is, how do you go about it? Just go about it. Just go for it. Try it. And you'd be surprised at how much business you can really bring to yourself.
Yeah, the advice I would give actually, and I'm stealing it from Lucy Bradley, who's one of our favorite marketer as well, is you basically need, like, now we are giving you some initially maybe you had some resistance or objections, and now you're like, oh, I like the idea, yeah, it's cool. Okay, but we're taking the example of salons. So maybe during this meeting or after this meeting, make your dream list of collaborating businesses. Lucy Bradley always says, like, make your dream list of customers, but make your dream list of collaborating businesses. So in the case of aesthetic doctors, yes, you could go to the nearby salon or hairdresser or coffee shop, like in the case of Gemma or other doctors doing hormone wellness services, Dr. Kubra, what you do, like I think maybe you're based in Mediclinic, in Dubai Mall, sorry. So you'll be surprised, like maybe, there's even like from Dubai Mall, some initiatives that can be done. Or so just start making a list of those outlets that you think might be receptive. And then in the next sessions, if you're having any resistance or issues, we can also discuss it, of course, and give you more tips.
Yeah. And just to add a little bit to that, Servan, also, when you're making your dream list, also don't be too specific on who you think is relevant to you. I worked one time with a family medicine doctor who had a specialty in women's health, and she had collaborated with an Iraqi restaurant that sold like shawarma, or I don't know what, it sold Iraqi food. And it brought her like 12 patients because she's British Iraqi and the restaurant's Iraqi. And she just left this like gorgeous brochure of her picture and a huge thing that says British Iraqi doctor. And it explained exactly what she did. And he was just randomly giving it out because he just liked her. And he randomly gave it out to so many women. And so many women were like, awesome, an Iraqi doctor from my Iraqi self. And they just went to see her. So don't be too specific and don't put too much pressure on it. Make a list of everybody who's surrounding you and just go for it, is my advice.
Yeah, and I will add one more thing, and then I will ask someone from the group to think of one example if they did it before and it worked. So if anybody did it, please kindly share with the group. But I'll give one more example that I was very surprised actually at the power again of networking or events. This is a bit more networking, but let's say it could be like neighboring businesses as well that you don't think are able to send you business. I went to an event. I went to an event which was for British people in business. So mostly, to be honest, it was real estate people or bankers. I felt very lost. I felt like I don't have anything to say. And when people were asking me, what do you do? I didn't even know how to explain, like to them, that I do like marketing business training for practitioners and doctors. I thought they'll look at me like a fish in an aquarium. And very surprisingly, there was actually one clinic owner there that I'm sure a lot of the aesthetic doctors know in this group. Dr. Danny Kiley was there with his fellow gynecologist, Dr. Rashad Haddad. So I was very surprised, and I knew them, they knew me, and it was just a CEO networking event, for business people. And I asked them why they were there, and they said that they make very good connections there at the event. Anyway, I met a lady who runs an interior design company, and we just liked each other as friends, and we clicked, and we had a glass of wine. And she asked me what I did, and I told her, and I thought she'd never remember what I did. A week later, she sent me a referral, and actually now I remember it was Mariam, who's now our member. And she said, I met this lady in the event, and I think she'll love what you do. And she joined, and now, she attends all our events. So you'll be surprised. I think it's always, as we say, it's always the people that don't think will be your customers that become your customers. And the ones that you're sure are going to be your customers, they don't become your customer. So if anybody has any tip to share of any such collaborations or wins that they got from events or from neighboring businesses, can you share, please? Or you didn't yet?
Thanks, Servan. I have my hands up because I have a question, if that's okay.
Yeah,
Great.
of course.
Great. So thanks, Nala. It's been really very much insightful, and Servan for the examples. And it's always good to have those collaborations. But did anyone else encounter that in case you want to, depending on the entity you want to collaborate with, I've seen on your slide you say something like Sephora. Well, not picking on Sephora, but just imagining that it's Sephora, and you go and you ask for such a collaboration. Well, an entity like Sephora will always ask, okay, what's in it for me? And for sure, they might ask for a fee or a marketing fee or a collaboration or something like that. So what's your takeaway on that? Would you advise going that route where it's a form of a paid partnership, or you would rather make it on the free side and just
Okay,
trying luck out of it? I mean, does paying help increase the efficiency of whatever we're going to do, and you will ensure that your vouchers or your brochures or flyers will go out to your customers?
look, I'll tell you this. The thing about paid partnerships, it's so collaborations, the reason why they're one of my favorite marketing tools is because they bring direct business, right? You're kind of not taking any risk by doing the free ones. You're just going to people and saying, hey, look, I exist. If you want to send me your people, cool. If you want me to send my people, I'm going to send them as well. Okay, so it's completely free of charge. Happy days. Now, there is a route where you can do a paid partnership. Okay, I've done it historically. I was working at an orthopedics clinic and we ended up collaborating with La Liga, which is a huge, of course, brand. And what we ended up doing is we ended up paying a pretty big amount to sponsor essentially all of their games and to put the clinic's name on the field. And while it was an amazing awareness campaign where it probably did a lot of benefit to the business's name and brand image, and we did end up getting a lot of followers on Instagram and on their social media, it's hard to measure how much business came from there. Okay, so while it's an awesome brand awareness exercise, it's a bit risky in the sense that it's really, really, really hard to track. Okay, so that's like saying, for example, is it worth it that Mediclinic is putting a huge banner in DXB? It is probably worth it, but that's just because of the marketing phase that they are in. Okay, they're not in an urgent phase where they don't see any clients, no, or any patients. They probably see more patients than they can handle. And so the next exercise is just to kind of grow their name, make sure that they're maintaining their brand image. So it really kind of depends on what phase or what stage in marketing you're at. If you're still in an earlier stage of marketing where you're not comfortable putting big budgets and just kind of see where it lands, then I would definitely stay away from the Zaras and the Sephoras at this stage.
Yeah, sorry, I just had to step out for a couple of minutes. I don't know if you mentioned it, but maybe as well in terms of financial engagements, like a small kickback is always welcome by everybody. So if you ask someone to do something for you, as we said, if it's someone from the healthcare field, they shouldn't ask for money back for it. But if they do, okay, fine, up to you to decide. But again, if it's a neighboring business or, sometimes if people go out of their way to do something for you, then definitely you need to thank them, as we said. But like recognition for different people comes in different ways, as we always say. And it's the same for your staff and your team. So that's why we say there's this big discussion we often have about inside clinics, how to incentivize your receptionist or, your nurse or your assistants to, to refer more patients for you or to build up the business. And of course, like commissions, they're always popular, but sometimes it's a day off, sometimes it's a day out. So to go back to the commissions, everybody's always happy to hear that, oh, you know what, if you do this for me, I'll give you 10%. How much is too much and how much is too low? Generally in business, when we give referral fees for somebody that refers someone to you, this is assuming they don't have to do the legwork. They just kind of say, hey, this person is interested in your services. And then you take over, you contact them, and they become your client or patient. Then usually the standard minimum fee is 10%. 20% would be the highest fee in case maybe they really have to work for it, and 10-15% is to be negotiated.
Yeah.
I hope this helps.
Makes sense. Thanks, Servan.
Okay, awesome. So that brings us to our next marketing channel, non-digital marketing channel, which is hosting events. Okay, like I said, you can attend events or you can host them. For the sake of our time limits, we're just going to discuss hosting for this point in time. So hosting events, okay, it's when you bring a number of people to your clinic, as everybody knows, there's really two types of in-clinic events, okay? There's a type where you bring them in to say, look, you on this open house or on this open day, what we're going to do is we're going to give you 25% off this service, and we're going to bundle it with this service just for this special day. So come see you there. The other type is the more educational type, right? So you say, look, guys, we've got food, we've got drinks, we've got gift bags, and we are let's say, a group of orthopedic doctors.
بتفهمي في ده؟
Sorry,
Okay.
it's a little loud.
Okay, so
participants, but I don't know how.
Yeah, let me try. There
Done.
you are. Sorry. Okay, awesome. So yeah, so when it comes to in-clinic events, like I said, there's one that's, the one that I described, and then the other one is the more educational one. So you've got, let's say, your group of orthopedics or your group of GPs, your group of aesthetic doctors. You pick a topic and you say, this is going to be the Women's Day, and we're going to discuss X, Y, and Z. Come for food, come for drinks, and we're gonna do a contest in the end for you to win this gift. So this is probably the best way to bring about patients to the clinic, okay? Once people step into your business, once they see, let's say, how pretty your clinic is or how professional your doctors are, how lovely your staff is, this is the easiest way to convince them because they physically moved from their house all the way to your clinic. They are your most potential patients. Now, a big objection that I get is, well, there's two. The first one is I tried it before and nobody came. Okay, so we're going to discuss this. But the second one is people came, they mingled, they ate my food, they drank, and then they didn't convert. Okay, so both of these two objections, it's the way you're going about it. It's not what you're doing that's wrong. So great, you've done your event, you've tried it before, it just didn't go the way that you wanted it to go. Okay, so let's talk about the first objection. I tried it before and no one came. You're probably marketing it through the wrong channels. Okay, the easiest way to market an event is through a WhatsApp campaign, and this isn't true for all regions around the world, but in this region, marketing on WhatsApp is the best way to do this. Okay, I would hear a lot of people say, no, don't communicate through WhatsApp. Your clinic, it should only be through email, and that's true for majority of the time. But there is a way to do it on WhatsApp to ensure that people are going to attend your event. The number one mistake that people do when they're marketing on WhatsApp is they make it either very chat GPT, okay, so they use very interesting emojis and a little bit of robotic language. You want to be very normal and chat like you're a normal person on WhatsApp, okay? And then the next natural question is, where do I market on WhatsApp and where do I get those numbers and leads? Okay, without delving too deep into WhatsApp marketing, there's a way that you can join groups that are relevant to you. I'll give you an example. Let's say I'm a British gynecologist in Dubai. Okay, so that means that obviously I'm British and I have a special interest in women's health. What I'm going to do is I'm going to join all the different British groups in Dubai, British Moms of Dubai, British Dads of Dubai, if I can, or if I can get my partner to. I'm going to join all the different niches and different interests that are British or that have a special relation to me. Okay. And what I'm going to do is throughout the year, I'm going to just kind of slowly ease my way into these groups. I'm going to talk about completely different things that have nothing to do with my clinic, nothing to do with my practice, nothing to do with what I do. It's just that, some girl said, oh, my kid is running a fever. Which hospital do I go to? Don't market yourself from the get-go. Just interact with the different groups and show them that you're a normal person who's genuinely interested to be in this group. And then you've got the grand finale. Okay, after some time has passed, you've established yourself as part of the group. You say, hey guys, by the way, I'm running this open day on the XYZ day. Would love to see you all there. And you would be surprised at how many people would be interested to come and see what you do. Okay, so to reiterate, I tried an event, nobody showed up. The number one reason is probably because you went about it the wrong way. So WhatsApp marketing is the best way to market for it. It's not the only way, but in my personal opinion, it's the best way to market for it in this region. Now, this is kind of another type of event, but it's not necessarily different to in-clinic events, okay? So you still do it in clinic. Basically, collaborative events is kind of relating back to what we were talking about just now, which is with neighboring businesses. So other than appreciation programs and other than cross-business collaborations, there's a third type, which is to collaborate by doing an event together. So let's say, again, I'm a clinic, there's a salon next to me. I go to the salon and I say, guys, let's combine efforts and do this awesome event for you guys to offer something and for us to offer something. Okay, so most of the time what will happen is we'll run the event in the clinic, and the salon or whatever other business, they get to kind of market themselves through banners, or they get, let's say, 10 minutes to do a small speech about their business in my clinic, and they do it completely for free. Why is this beneficial to my business? All right. So what you do is when you do a collaborative event, you market to your entire database of emailers and WhatsApp patients and numbers. So you will contact your entire database that you have in the clinic. It's a huge benefit to you for you to have your name sent to the database of the other business. So these people have probably never heard of you, but what they have done is they've probably seen your name, right? So they've come to the salon, they've checked out the area, possibly they live there, and they've seen your clinic. Maybe they have an idea of who you are. And because your event is going to be exciting enough and it's going to have food and drinks and gifts and all of these fun things, what they're going to do is they're going to be like, aha, I've seen that business before. This sounds like something I want to attend. And so then they will become very, very potential clients that will come to your event. So this is, yeah, so this objection we kind of already talked about in terms of events. Does anybody have any questions regarding events? And events marketing, or any, let's say, objection?
I don't have an objection, but I do want to share something. When I came to Dubai, I did a workshop in Heal Hub, I think it's called, on Jumeirah.
Yeah.
And I got 0 signups, and half the room were my friends, But a year later, I got this old elderly lady on my newsletter. A year later, she referred her husband, who worked with me and then avoided having a hip operation. And then he referred me to his son, who now is missing out on having a back operation, and he's just referred me to someone in Sydney. So
Love it.
I got 3 from an event that I at the time decided was a total flop. So if anyone
This
needs
is amazing.
hope.
Exactly. So that's what I was referring to earlier in the talk. A lot of the time when people market, they market with urgency. I need this to work like right now, today. I need to do everything today. That's absolutely not how marketing works. Marketing is a long-term game, and it's a very long-term game. So you start today, and every day you make an effort. Every day you're gonna build that business, and you're gonna build it with small steps at a time. Even if I market today, it might be that, and especially that a lot of you guys are doctors, so maybe today I don't need Botox, but what if in 3 years I remember, oh, okay, I'm kind of, I'm having a little bit of wrinkles now, so I want to go see a doctor. Who am I going to go to? I'm going to go to the person who's been consistently marketing to me over time. So it doesn't need to be that, whoever you market to today has to come exactly today and see you exactly today. It can be that you do an event today, and in 4 months' time, it brings you like 6 new patients.
Yeah. With marketing, that's the biggest mistake that you can make, is to decide that it doesn't work and didn't work and give up before you even gave it the chance to work. And that is the easiest way to lose your money. So you put money into something, but you don't give it chance to speculate and accumulate. So it takes time, and sometimes we're not even able to really measure the returns of our marketing. In your case, Gemma, actually, it's good that you know that this patient came from that patient, but sometimes we don't even know. Like for bigger businesses, or if somebody doesn't care to tell you, you wouldn't know where this person came from. So events are very powerful. WhatsApp groups as well. I'm keen to know whether anyone in the group is part of people's communities on WhatsApp, women, teenagers, whatever it is, moms, dads, because we're planning to really focus our marketing advice more on this going forward. We really believe in it, but any experience from you guys, we'd love to hear as well. Have you tried to be part of this group and become part of the conversation in a casual way, and did you get anything back from it?
I am already in a lot of mom groups because of my kids' school. But the thing is, I can't just while they're talking about homework and lunchbox, I can't just talk about teeth. So I don't know how to introduce it in a way that is subtle, but at the same time professional, you know, you don't want to change the subject to be all about you when you are, for example, in mom's group or in a community group or all of that. So how do we change the subject to be about us or advertise our business?
So you don't necessarily change the subject. You don't obviously if they're talking about like, oh, you know, guys, how do you do question 3? You're not going to be like, oh, you do it like this, and also I have an event. You have to be a little bit subtle with it. Okay, so either, okay, there's 2 options that you have here. So I've been a part of a lot of moms groups, even though I'm not a mom, I'm just a marketing girl. So the moms groups, it will be, you're right, about homework, you know, where do I shop for shoes, where do I, you know, do all of these different things that aren't related to what you do. But there will be a moment when somebody talks about their kids' teeth or their kids' health or something to do with what you do, and you can slip it in then. Obviously, that's the perfect moment, but you don't always catch these moments. My biggest advice is to do it when the group is a little bit quiet, but you have to partake in the conversations that are outside of this. So if somebody's talking about homework or something that interests you genuinely, then talk and be a part of that group and be a recognized name within that group. Then one day when the group is quiet, hello everyone, just letting you know that I'm running this thing. Would love to see you all there. So that would be how I would go
Yeah.
about it.
Okay, thank you.
No worries at all. Anybody else wanted to say something? I think I heard a couple of people. Dr. Shiva, I think you were saying something earlier.
Yeah, so I was saying I was a part of some Facebook groups, and actually it happened the same way that you said. So a lady came up there and she was talking about how she went to a clinic and she was unhappy about a certain procedure, and you know, I just put my comments like about what she described and what has happened, and from there actually I got some referrals.
Mm.
It was interesting. I'm not very much active on Facebook. Like actually, it was a recommendation from my manager. But when I joined, and like they were talking about different subjects. Maybe some of you are a member of this group. There are some Dubai ladies groups on Facebooks, and like they have a lot of members, over 20,000. So they talk about a lot of subjects, including going to clinics or doing even, you know, some of them they talk about doing procedures outside of clinics, which is illegal, but they're open about it there. So, you know, at least you can use the chance and just guide them and, you know, tell them not to do it. So.
Mm.
Yeah, so exactly. So to go back, thank you, Dr. Shiva, for that. To go back to Dr. May's comment, yes, definitely there's some WhatsApp groups that we are all part of that. It's probably not the right WhatsApp group to have any hopes of getting anything out of it. Just maybe one day luck will strike and you'll have a chance to mention about the service that you offer. But maybe you can do more strategic thinking about WhatsApp groups that you could be part of, that you know are potentially having these conversations. So exactly like Dr. Shiva just mentioned, and we know some of the WhatsApp groups, exactly as you said, that, you know, ladies are asking, oh, do you know where I can get this or get that? And with so many new expats in town as well, there's lots of WhatsApp groups for those newcomers into the city. And because we're a new country, you know, we don't know where to get the best services. So people rely on word of mouth more.
Yes, but I will counter that with a little tiny point there, though. I wouldn't go to the huge groups, okay? So places like British Mums of Dubai and these huge groups, sometimes they'll be very strict about marketing and they'll ask you to pay an insane amount, which I would not recommend doing just over a WhatsApp group. So instead, I would focus your efforts on what I like to call mini groups, okay? Or micro groups, okay, that are around, let's say 1,000 or a little less than 1,000 women, but it's the kind of your power is in numbers. Okay, so you've got a number of groups that you're a part of, and honestly, again, like the collaboration with businesses, it's the same way. You will find patients in the weirdest ways and in the weirdest groups. For example, that same British Iraqi doctor who was a GP or a family medicine consultant, she found 5 patients through a group in her mosque. So she had just one day, we were organizing an event for her and she said, oh, you know, I marketed to all of these groups. I was like, what's left? And she said, just the mosque group, which is like the Islamic church, in case anybody is not aware. She just had a mosque group. She put it on there. So many people came from that group and she converted 5 people. So you can really find patients everywhere. Okay, so everybody has an interest somewhere. So don't be so hard on yourself, trying to think up of, oh no, I can't do it here, I can't do it here. Don't be shy about what you do. You do it, so be proud of it and just tell people about it in a way that's not sleazy and not salesy and not come to me and I'll take all your money. No, in a way that's authentic and in a way that's just a human conversation. You saying, look, I'm doing this. If anybody's interested, come along to, the more the merrier.
Is there a way to find those groups? Like, is there like to look for example, Egyptians in Dubai, other than the ones that we already have like close contacts with, or it's just that's the only way to find those groups?
Yeah, it's a
in
little bit of
action.
like word of mouth and just being lucky to come across the right one. Personally, we are doing this research at the moment, and we are reaching out to all these WhatsApp groups of popular communities to find out like how large is their audience, what are the advertising conditions, because by the way, some of them, the owners of the WhatsApp groups or the groups, Facebook or whatever, they have already understood that they can monetize their community. So some of them, they have ready-made advertising opportunities or events that you can go to and pay. So we're working on gathering that information as well for our members. And once it's all ready, we'll update you. But I think ask around as well, always ask around.
Yeah, especially if you have children, like the easiest way to actually get into these events, and I find that some of the most successful doctors in Dubai are moms because they get to know other moms, and moms like to bring their husbands and kids and daughters and aunties and uncles and everyone. So it's definitely the easiest way. When you're picking up the kids, try to talk to the other moms and say, hey, are you a part of any groups, by the way? I'm looking to, I don't know, expand my network or something. And you'll find a lot of different weird, strange groups. Also, another one is where you live. So, for example, that doctor, she lived in Dubai Hills, and there's a lot of Dubai Hills groups that you can find. Um, you can find it by going to kind of neighboring restaurants in your area where you live and asking around, not asking the people eating, but asking, let's say the waiters or the waitresses, hey, by the way, I live here. Do you know of any groups that are here, etc. So that's kind of the best advice I can give. But like Servan said, to be honest, it's kind of luck, unfortunately. You land on them and you join them when you can.
As you were talking this through, it did give me the idea to speak to the last few clients I worked with and ask them what groups they're on. Because
True.
they're, like my ideal clients, go back to the best ones and see. So thanks.
Yeah, 100%.
Great idea.
Yeah.
Exactly. So we do this a lot. I think the members in this group, they can tell you that I often reach out to you and ask you, hey, what's your opinion on this? What do you think on that? I'm the specialist for it. But if I also yes, asking, do you know where I can do this or where I can do that? It takes 1 minute and people will be more than happy to tell you. And it will save you hours of research.
Yeah, 1000%. 1000%. So that brings us to our last marketing or non-digital marketing channel. Unfortunately, we are running a little bit behind on time, so I won't spend too much time on this, but thankfully it's pretty straightforward. I just want to kind of remind you to do this and to really pay a lot of attention on this in 2025. Okay, so like I said, referrals or let's say patient referral programs are a very systemized and, let's say, easy way to drive direct business to your business. Okay, very popular in other regions of the world, not as popular here, but let's make it happen in 2025. Patient referrals program is very simple, or to make it simple, rather. I'll give you a direct example. Let's say you're my patient and I did a facial for you. And I say, look, the next time, there's two ways that I can do it, right? So I say, look, the next time you come into my practice, if you bring another person with you, I'm gonna give you a facial for free, okay? Or let's say I'm gonna give you a discount on your facial. Or if you bring me 3 different patients, let's say, I'll give you, I don't know, a month free of facials, or for example, I'll give you the next one for free. Something to that effect. Okay. So you can either build it up in credits, or you can give them free things, or you can really just kind of be as creative as you want. It sounds very simple, but for some reason, a lot of people miss it out. They really don't incentivize referrals. Referrals are the best way to build your business. Why? Because like I said earlier, the nature of this region is that it is almost completely, businesses here are built through word of mouth. Okay, so you can put stuff on your Instagram, and you can put really nice websites, and you can create amazing Facebook pages until you're blue in the face. But really, what's really gonna bring you business is going to be what people are saying about you, because the nature of this region is that it's a little bit cliquey, right? So once you get a British mom from here, once you get an Egyptian mom from here, a Lebanese dad from here, that's when your word or your name starts to kind of regurgitate and starts to kind of spread within those groups. And that's how you really start to generate business. Now, we all know the saying that one happy person is going to tell one other person, one unhappy person is going to tell 10. So it's really hard to get people to talk about positive things. I don't know if it's human nature or what's going on there, but the best way to get people to talk positively about you if they've had a good experience is to incentivize it, right? So it's to give them something back. Now, okay, so sorry. So let's talk a little bit about clinics and doctors' referrals, like Gemma had earlier mentioned. So how do you how do you refer, or how do you facilitate a referral between yourself and another doctor? Okay, so the best and easiest way to do it is to create professional friendships, and you do it and meet other people by actually going to events. Okay, so you can go to, you can attend webinars, you can go to events, you can go to coffee mornings, doctor coffee mornings. There is a lot of different lectures that doctors and clinics host all the time, and you need to be there. Okay, you need to be there in person, and you need to go again on a day when you're in a really good mood and you're just being bubbly and talking to everybody and asking them about themselves, their lives, their professions, etc. And the other way, which is to do it behind your laptop if you're a little bit shy, okay? It's to do it on LinkedIn, and you connect with the best people that you ideally want to create those relationships with. I won't keep you too long, but a quick note for LinkedIn and the most effective way to build relationships on LinkedIn. And this is going to sound so cringy, but it's actually to take your phone and record yourself. Okay. You record yourself through the selfie screen. You say, hello, Dr. I don't know. Hello, Dr. Robert. Thank you so much for accepting my, or no need for thank you so much, but hey, Dr. Robert, I am Dr. Cindy, and I am a GP in X, Y, and Z, and this is what I do. I would love it. I would love to go out for a coffee, or I'd love to jump on a call and discuss what both of us do and how we can help each other do it better, or something like that. So that would be the easiest way to meet doctors, okay, in the region. So the objection I want to talk about is I keep meeting people and creating connections. Why is no one sending me patients? Okay, so the thing about connecting with people and the thing about doing incentivized programs and trying to get referrals from doctors, you've got to be consistent and you've got to keep doing it. So you can't just one day decide, yes, this is going to be my week of, incentivizing my patients and talking to all of these doctors and trying to go to as many events as possible, and then I forget about it. The thing about people today is we're all very busy and we all have our different lives, and we're busy with our own lives, so we're always the center of our own universe. So you've got to remind people of who you are, and you can do it through very nice ways. So let's say, again, going back to the beginning of the speech or the presentation, when we talked about appreciation programs, you can actually do appreciation programs to your network of people. So you can send really nice messages on LinkedIn, or you can, if you know where they work and you've got that kind of relationship going, you can send a handwritten note or something like that to remind people of who you are and what you do and why you should do it together. When it comes to incentivized programs, you've got to up it up from time to time. When people kind of get used to it or like, oh, this isn't really worth it, you change it up, you flip the game a little bit, you say, okay, cool, we're not going to do 300 dirhams credit. Instead, we're going to do this other thing, which is we're going to give you this other service for free or something to that effect. You've just got to keep kind of reminding people of who you are, what you do, and why they should do it with you. And that brings us to the end of our discussion tonight. Oh, again. So that okay, so just to kind of wrap up, yeah, perfect. So to wrap up quickly, if anybody has any questions based on what was discussed today, do let me know so I can quickly jump on that.
Can I ask an irrelevant question? Your light is amazing on your video. What do you use?
Thank you.
You're a different category of all of us, you know, we all look different.
It's this random, I don't know what it is. You know what? I'm gonna find out the name of it.
Yeah,
And
please.
I'm gonna put it
This
on the
is an
group.
Amazon link, you know. Thank you.
No worries.
By the way, it is a relevant question because you can use this light for your videos on Instagram.
Yeah, she looks amazing. Like it's like she's 4K and we're all like, you know, 480 or something.
I have a quick question. There's not about the light, but I do like your light. It looks really good. So, and I don't know if this is probably not the right webinar for this, but for me, I get everything you're saying, and I really would love to go to. I didn't know doctors had doctor coffee mornings, but this sounds great, and I would love to go. But because of imposter syndrome, I walk in and I liked your sentence at the beginning about dare to be different, but like I'm so aware that I'm different. I completely go to pieces. You can put me in any other networking event and I'm fine. But the minute I'm in a room with a doctor, the only thing that's going through my head is they're a doctor and I'm not. And I cannot get over it. And I've been to a couple of events with the British Business Group with doctors. And honestly, I've hated it because the whole time I'm sitting there going, please don't ask me a question about something about the human body because I probably don't know.
Let's ask doctors' opinion on this. I think, like, how do doctors feel about this, that they have healthcare practitioners that also can treat patients from a different background and training and approach?
We have no idea what you're doing, so you're the expert at what you're doing. So you shouldn't feel bad. I mean, nobody knows what you're doing better than you.
Well, thank you.
True, but a practical advice from me is to keep doing it. I know it's easier said than done, but everything is harder the first time. You know, like I learned English when I was 13 and I joined school immediately, you know, and that was so hard at first. Like it was so awkward speaking English and doing all of these different things. But once you do it over and over and over and get over those awkward, awful thoughts that you probably experience when you go, at some point in time, it looks up.
Yeah, you're probably right. And I've built it into such a big thing over like the last 7, 8 years. I've got this image of what a doctor might say to me and where I go to pieces, and it's totally a fake thing. I'm really aware of this.
We have a very friendly group of doctors and we have non-doctors as well. So it's about finding a group that resonates with what you do as well. But I think always remember that doctors have patients who are not comfortable with doctors. So actually our other member, that's what she does. She's helping patients who are scared of going to the hospital, going to the clinic. And, you know, sometimes a doctor might be looking for someone who is not working in that environment, you know, that is more clinical with the doctor's lab coat. So Dubai is very inclusive. I think that's what we always need to remember.
Can I say something, please?
Of course.
Dr. Dina. Yeah, can I just say that really as a doctor, nobody cares. Honestly, nobody cares these meetings if you're a doctor or not. It's all to learn. So you're really taking it personally. You need to get out of your head. You don't have to worry about it at all.
Oh, I so needed to hear that. It's like a
honestly,
virtual hug.
No,
Thank
honestly,
you.
there's nobody. I mean, even being a doctor or not, I mean, I'm not going to ask, are you a specialist? Are you consultant? Are you whatever? I mean, nobody, honestly, at these meetings, everybody's there to just, and so don't be intimidated by anything. actually they're gonna appreciate you being there. So I'm telling you, coming from a doctor, don't at all feel intimidated by that and going there. On the contrary, you know, we need to give you a big shout out and say, you know, bravo for coming, you know, and learning. And there's people from all different avenues. So yeah, I'm telling you, coming from as a doctor said, nobody cares, honestly.
Oh,
You're thinking too much into it.
thank you.
Thank you. That's great advice. And we always forget how people are admirative of each other. So a business person will be admiring a doctor will actually be admiring a business person. So I had the same myself because I used to organize medical conferences and courses, and people always used to address me as Dr. Savan, and I used to say, I'm not a doctor. So, you know, but then they're like, okay, what do you do? And then when you tell them what you do, they like it. So you have to own what you do.
100% agree.
I'm trying to mute, but it's not working.
Yeah, I have other people sitting in the clinic next to me, so I have to mute.
Okay, there you go. Okay, guys.
Awesome. Is there any final remarks from anyone or questions based on the discussion? No. Okay. Thank you so much. That was a really awesome session. I really appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you, Nala.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
everyone. I hope you enjoyed it. There is a recording as well of this meeting that we will be sharing with you if you want to listen again.
Super. Thank you.
Have a
Bye.
lovely evening. Thank you again for taking the time tonight, and hopefully you can implement some new ideas tomorrow. Have a good night.
Good evening.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.